So these are the, you could say, different formulas, different basic formulas you could apply. Now, again, to see that, first you have to enter, you have to enter the equal sign, then cell reference, then operator, then cell reference. These cell reference are acting as a value. Whatever value is written in this A1 would be taken by Excel as a value, and then whatever value is written in this cell, Excel would take that value and would apply this operator that you have put in between. Like A1 plus B1 means A1 plus this whatever value is in B1. Now, sometimes if you want, whenever you add this cell reference, it means you have certain entry in that cells. And sometime if you want to multiply, if instead of A1 cell reference you would put 10, then Excel would take it as a constant. This value would be constant. Instead of taking it from any cell reference, it would take it 10 always. It would make it 10 multiplied by 20, it would make it 30, and it won't take it from any reference. Then if you let's say there are other functions as well, like if you want to add some cells in series, then you could also add them in series. Like instead of going with the sum 1 plus 2, you could use sum and you could write it in the series like J41 to J42. It means J, this column 40, 41 is 41, J41 means this cell to J42 to this cell. So you could also use this formula instead of just adding different cell. You could also use this quick formula, that is sum into series, J41 to J42. So you could also add them in the series, or you could also add them in the form of a non-adjacent series. Like we have seen that if you have a non-adjacent series, just put the adjacent series semicolon and then put the comma or any separator. The mostly you would use the comma separator to separate the non-adjacent. So C1 to C10. So you could use this non-adjacent basic, you could say, formula you could apply. Then there are certain functions available as well, like the sum summation function. First, if we go to the formulas, we have different functions available. Like here you see insert function, and in insert function you see that there are different functions available, which is with each function you see that here is the auto sum function. In auto sum function you could do the summation. You could add a continuous value, adjacent and non-adjacent value in a row or in a column using this sum operator. Sum function, you could also average down the value in a row or in a column. You could also count number in one row or in a one column. You could also find out the maximum and minimum values. Then this gives you the recently used, whatever you have recently used function would come here. Then there are financial operators. Obviously they are linked with when you are doing the financial analysis. Then the related to the financial analysis, there are different functions given. So now instead of formula, there are different functions that are given in the financial set that could be used for direct. Then there are logical statements like if and else statement, if error statement, not and or statement, true statement. So you could also use this logical statement here. Logical statement, then there are other, like if you want to do the analysis of text format, then the lower value clean any value, left value lean value. These you could apply on different text format. Like if you have written any text and then if you want to apply any analysis or any function on that, you could apply the formulas from this text. Then there are date and time. Let's say if you want to find out the hours between two date value, if you want to find out the days in an year or in different years. You could use this function. Then the most important which relates with you are these mathematical function. Here you see that absolute, cosine, tangent, cotangent, exponential, all these functions are given in the mathematical and trigonometric form. So you could use all these functions according to your need. You could use these functions. Then there are more advanced function like the statistical function. You want to take the average, if you want to find out the r square value, if you want to apply the f test, p test, all these statistical tests. Obviously they are the more specialized tests when you want to apply. Then there are different complex formulas or also attached, maybe related to civil engineering. You won't get most of the formulas here, but they are related to different other engineering or different other engineering concepts. So some default functions are also given. Instead of applying formulas, you could directly use these functions. So similarly, other functions are given. Mostly you're gonna use the absolute, mathematical and trigonometric function, or this summation function. Most of the, or this logical statement. Most of the time, these three functions pertains to you, and you need to. One way is that you, instead of using function, you just apply the formula, or instead of applying the formula, you just use the function. So now it depends on you that what you want to do. Let's say if you want to, these are different values, amounts are written, different amount for different apple, oranges, and this amount is written like 50, 60, 20. If you want to add all these value, what you could do, first thing you could do is that you just, instead of using this function, just use 1 plus 1 plus next entry plus next entry. So now you see that it has taken the summation of all these value, it has added all these value. Or instead of going with these, you could go with sum, and then select it in the range. Range means that start from here and go till here. Like, how could you navigate? One way, obviously,
Sir,
you could navigate through keyboard, you could navigate through mouse, or you could also write the cell reference. Let's say if you want to navigate through mouse, click here and drag it till the end. Like, this is the end, I will drag it till here. And then when you would, obviously, you end this parenthesis. Yes, so now you see that it has added all these values. Here you have, you could add it individually, or you could use, if you have to add all these value, you could use this summation function. Similarly here, you could go with the summation, or you could use this value. Then if you have to count that, what are the numbers, how many
sir,
numbers, how many rows are there, or how many columns are there, you could use the count function
sir,
and all these.
सर
Then
कुछ बच्चे लॉबी में वेट कर रहे हैं, उन्हें प्लीज लेट इन कर दें। थैंक यू सर।
minimum, maximum, all these functions you could use. So these are different, so you should know that how could you put the formula. To put the formula in any cell, you start with equal sign, and then you give the reference, cell reference, you put an operator in between. Or you could also put these functions, these different self-defined, or this different defined function within the Excel, you could use them, and you could apply any formula. So now here you see that different order precedence. You should, these are the basic mathematics, that what is the order precedence. Set the predefined rules used to determine the sequence which operator are applied in a calculation. Like, let's say if you have put the formula 50 plus 10 into 5. So you know that the in order, multiply, division, then plus minus So the division and multiplication operator come in first order, and subtraction or addition, you could say, operator come in the second order. So how would Excel compute? Excel would first do the 10 into 5, which would be the 50, and then add this 50, this answer 50, 10 into 50, 10 into 5 which is equal to 50, then add this 50 into this 50, which and make it to be 100. Now you should know that Excel would do it like that. Like, if you consider that Excel would first add 50 and 10 and then would multiply it to the 5, then it would be wrong, because you should know the precedence order in which mathematical operator works. Obviously, you have this basic knowledge from your from the mathematics, that which operator comes in first precedence, which comes in second. So you should know. Now, if you want to change the order of precedence, obviously this parenthesis, they even come first. They come first in the precedence. Like, if you apply any parenthesis, any bracket, like in the bracket, now Excel or any mathematical operator would first go with this parenthesis, whatever in this parenthesis or whatever in this bracket, that would come into the first order. Even you have multiplied it, even you have multiplication operator, even then this bracket or this parenthesis operator would come in first precedence. So your Excel now would add 50 plus 10, it would be 60, and then multiply 60 to 5. Now here, if you have written formula like that, you should know that Excel would first do the multiplication, and then after multiplication, it would do the addition. And if you have added the parenthesis, first it would do the whatever operator you have put in the parenthesis, and then it would apply the second operator with respect to, you could say, precedence order. Now in this 50 over 10 minus 5, what would happen, that it would first calculate 50 over 10, which 50 over 10, which means 5, and then 5 minus 5, 0. So you would see that answer would be 0. So let's say if someone is taking this formula to be like that, that first it should be 10 minus 5, which is 5, and then divide 50 over 5, which means 10. So it means that he has written it wrongly. It has taken it in a wrong manner. So if he want to do it like that, he should add bracket here. He should first add bracket in here for 10 minus 5, which means if you have added the bracket, then in the precedence order, it would first solve this bracket and then would apply this division, you could say, operators. So then it would 10 minus 5 would be 5, and then divide 50 over 5, then you would get the 10 answer. If you have two operators at the same precedence level, so the calculation is done from left to right. So you should also know that. Now, because precedence order of uh, multiplication and division is same, so if the precedence order is same, then it would Excel would, or any mathematical function, I should say, would give it a precedence from left to right, which means that it would first do the division and then do the multiplication. So it is coming from left to right. So it would 50 over 10 would 5, and 5 into 5, 25. So if you want to change the order, let's say if you want to do the multiplication first, so you should apply bracket to the multiplication operator. So now Excel would do solve bracket first, 5 into 10, and then would do the 50 over, you could say 50, which would be the 1. So you should know this precedence. uh, I hope that from the basic mathematics, you have this idea, you have this concept, and you could make this logic that which operator would come first, and which is the what is the precedence. Obviously, multiplication and division, they are the first precedence, first order operators. Multiplication, division, sorry, addition and subtraction, they are the second order, you could say, operators. And if you have two operators of same precedence or same order, then in mathematical formula, you go from left to right. So whatever you have operator you have on the left, it would be in the first precedence, first order, and then you would move toward the second. And if you have to change the precedence, let's say if you want to do first, you want to do the first you want to do the addition and then you want to do the multiplication. Obviously for the addition and subtraction operator you should apply parenthesis, or you should apply bracket, because when you apply a bracket or parenthesis in mathematical term, it means that it has the first preference to be solved. So it would be first solve the values in the bracket, and even in the bracket there are different brackets, like it would first solve the main bracket and then would solve the values in between. So you should make formula accordingly. You should know these precedents and then you should make your formulas accordingly. Now if you have to
Okay.
view a formula whether you have applied it correctly, you just click on a cell on which you have applied the formula, and you could see it in the formula bar. Like let's say if you have applied any formula here, then when you would click on this form in on this cell, you could easily see that what formula you have applied. And in formula you would see that this cell references would be in different colors, so that and different colors, and you would see that all those cells would be highlighted with the similar kind of line, similar colored line, so that you could know that what precedence you are applying, what operators you are applying to which cell, so what data you are using in a formula. So to know that you could easily determine, like if I go to this sheet, I just put, let's say, here here when I apply here, you see that I have D3 to D6. These are the cells. You see they are in the blue color, which means that I have made them in a series, and you see that it has selected all these entries. It means that it is applying the summation function for this series. So you could easily see the formula which you have applied. So you could easily know that what values are being taken by the Excel in order to do the computation. Now you know how to write the formulas. So copying, also you could copy paste the formula from one place to another. Let's say if you have applied certain formula here, let's say you have applied some D3 to D6. When I copy it, let's say if I copy this cell, Control plus C, select this cell, and or I copy it from here. So let's say if I copy it and then I paste it here, Control V. So by default, what would happen, that it would apply the formula, it would copy this formula and paste it here. So now here you see that this formula was adding the above series here, D3 to D6. Now when I have pasted on the G column, then you see that this formula D3 to D6 has changed to G3 to G6. So this way you could also copy the formula. Or let's say if you have to copy, first if you copy the formula, then if you want to paste it, then when you right click it, you see that there are plenty of options. So let's say if you want to paste the formula similar for same for, if you want to just change the formula, you could use this option. It means that you would paste the formula here. Now if I, instead of formula, I just paste value here, then instead of placing formula, now you see that instead of placing formula, pasting formula, it has pasted this 170 value. So you should know that if you want to copy any formula, or if you want to copy that value, you could also choose these values from here. Or if you by default paste it, copy a formula cell and copy it anywhere, by default it would paste it like a formula. So this option you should know, you should keep in your mind. Now for a formula, first you could say guideline is that you should make the formula to be simple. Make it as simple as you can, and you should know the main error that we usually do, or main problem that occurs with the formula, that when you don't know the operator precedence, order in which Excel, or order in which any mathematical operator would work. Like if you are taking multiplication as a first order operator, sorry, if you are taking addition as a first order operator and taking multiplication as a second order operator, then you are, if you apply any formula, it would be wrong. So you should know that what is the precedence order of any operator, and you should know that if I have to change the precedence, I could apply the brackets, I could apply the parentheses, and within the parentheses you should also know that what could be the precedence of a bracket in a bracket, or a parenthesis in a parenthesis. So you should know the precedence first, then keep it simple. Then you should not hide the data. Most of the time what we do, that when we are dealing with a large you could say Excel file, large spreadsheet, sometimes we hide the data. Let's say if I hide it now, if you would recall, let's say if I apply the formula B1, now even if you have hidden that value, even if you would give it a cell reference, even it would take that hidden value. So you should know that I haven't, whether I have hidden that cell or not. So most of the time you should make sure while applying a formula, you should unhide all the cells, all the values, so that you don't make any mistake. And break a formula to show intermediate result. Most of the time when you have a complex formula, try to break up, try to, let's say, if you have a long formula, if you have a large formula, then instead of applying it on a one cell, you just do one intermediate function on one cell, then second cell, then at the end you just take a huge integrated values at the last cell. These are just the suggestion. If you are good with applying formula on one cell, you could also do that, but these are just the suggestion to avoid the errors, to avoid the problems. So should do uh, you should break the formulas in different. Then you should use the functions for more efficient work. Instead of applying formulas, you should go with the functions. Like if you have to add add the adjacent row or adjacent, here you see that adjacent column is being added, a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. You could do it by a long formula, or you could go with the summation function. So you should know that I could also do it efficiently, smartly by using any function. We have already discussed that sum function, average function, minimum, maximum function. These are different functions available. We have already seen that which functions are available. Mostly you would dealt with summation, minimum, maximum, average, these function, and mathematical and trigonometric function from your civil engineering point of view. Auto sum. We have already discussed the worksheet, that how could you add a worksheet, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and how could you name it, how could you delete different sheets, how could you move from one sheet to another. Then there is another interesting option, is the control and find. Here on the right side you see find and select. You could select it from here, find. Let's say if I have to find the cash where I have written the cash, so it would go to that cell. So it would give me the all cell where I have written the cash. So here you see that cash could be. Now if I want to replace this cash with money, let's say I just replace it. So when you find next, you see that it is giving me the cash where I have written the cash. When I replace it, so you see that instead of it has replaced the cash with the money. So you could also use this find and replace. This is common in different you could say in different work office modules, in like in you could also use it in the MS Word, you could also use it in PowerPoint, you could also use it in the Excel. So this is a common feature from MS Office. Quick keys. Obviously you should know the quick keys, control plus C, control plus V for the paste, and all these quick keys. You could Google them, the quick keys that you need, or you could also use the mouse for them. or you could use the quick keys. Then when we come to the view, we have already discussed this view part. Like if you want to change the view, by default you have the normal view. If you want to change it into page type, like here now I have changed it into page size, page type, which means that it is giving you in the form of page. Instead of giving you the whole worksheet, it is showing you the pages. And if you have, like here I have given the division of different pages. Like this one is my page 1 in page 6. This whole page is page 6. So here you see that it is giving me in the form of pages. So you could change the view. uh, Page break preview, we have already seen that. Then in the view option, like if we come into the view option, here these options are also given here: page view, page break, page layout. If you want to see, let's say we go to the normal instead of this. Let's say if we come to the here, let's say in the view panel, if you want to change, you want to remove these lines, so you could also remove these lines. You want to remove the headings. Like now you see that the heading has been removed, like the column heading has been removed. Now if you want to remove the formula bar, so you could customize your setting. You could freeze one. Let's say if I just freeze this pan, now even if you move wherever you would move, now you see that this pan has been freezed. Now if you just unfreeze it, you just, so these are the view option that you could see. Now another option, another important option is printing a workbook. uh, Printing a workbook is very important. Now first you have to do the page layout. For orientation of page, you should choose the other your page that you want to print would be, should be in portrait or should be in landscape. Let's say if I change it to the landscape, now my page size would change to the landscape. If I change to portrait, it would be changed to portrait. Change size of the page. Mostly we go with the A4 size, sometime letter or sometime legal. These are the by default size. Let's say I choose A4 size, with mostly our printer, they're set to the A4 setting. uh, Print area, whatever print area you want to add. If you want to give the breaks between different pages, you could do that. So now if when you give the print command, it could be a control plus P, or you could go to the file and you could go to this print option. And here you see that this print option is being given. Now here you are seeing that you would be given a preview of your Excel sheet, preview that you are going to print, that on the page 4 this would appear, on page 5 this would appear, on page 6 this would appear. So first you should always, while printing any Excel sheet, you should always see that what is preview is coming, and based on that you should arrange your workbook. Let's say if I want to arrange it, page layout, set a print area. Let's say I set it to be a print area. Now you see that whatever I have selected in the print area would be coming into on this page and also on the second page. So you should select the print area and then accordingly you could print it out. So lab exercise for this module is we're gonna solve a problem from soil mechanics. Or have you learned the soil mechanics one?
नहीं सर, अभी शुरू करनी है इसी सेमेस्टर.
Okay, but you have learned the engineering materials with me, I think. So
Yes, sir.
I have taken a one example, one very simple example. You don't need to be worried about the formulas. You just need to be worried about the how you could perform this on the Excel. So I would give you all the formulas and everything. You just need to apply the formulas in the Excel. So we solve. I have already solved this problem to save the time. I have already solved this one. Let me close all these other files. Let's say if you save it, I have saved it. Project one, this geotech problem, which say that in a natural form. Now uh, we have this lab exercise in which it says that it is in a natural form. Soil sample has this much of the mass and volume was this much, 1.15 10 raised to power minus 3, which means it is in a scientific format. First, it is a data type is numeric, and then the formatting is in the scientific format. After being completely desired in an oven, dried in an oven, the sample mass was changed to dried mass, which is 2035 gram. Here you see the type of data is numeric, and format is general format. No digit, no. This is a whole number, so it is a general format. So they are asking us to determine the bulk density, unit weight, water content, void ratio, porosity, degree of saturation, and air content. So if you have to do this problem, let's say if you have to do this uh, on a page, it might take a lot of time. You need to calculator and all these things. But if you have the Excel, you could easily solve this problem, and you could do it in a minutes. You just need to apply the different logics. Like here I have prepared a one Excel. Here I have written, you see that. Let's say I convert the view font so that it would be easy for you to see. Here I have written this in one cell, this in the second cell, this statement in the third cell, and here these cells are empty. So you should know that I have written it in this cell, this cell, this cell, and in view. In the view, I haven't changed the dimension. Instead of that, and also you see that I haven't the wrapped the text. So it means that whatever I have written here, it is showing the data is written in B2, but the value in view, you see that intersecting with other cells. However, when you click on any cell, you see that these cells are empty. In its natural form, I have written the statement here. I could write it this way, or I could have also written it like that in its natural form, Alt plus Enter. So now I have come to the here, paste. Now you see that because I have the text is being wrapped, so I change the wrap text. So it depends on you how you want to paste it. Again, wrap text, change it. When you wrap the text, it means that it is confining it into the one cell. Let's say if I wrap text, it is confining it into this cell. Then I have to change the width and size of the cell to to come properly. Because I have written two values here, so that's why. So if you wrap text, it means that it is shifting it in just in one cell, and then you have to format the cell. But this is not the assignment of this task, so I just written it like that. So to solve this calculation reference is written that I have taken it from the crack soil mechanics book. Calculation validation, just I have solved it, and then I also validated it with the answer that I get from the book or answer that I get from the calculators by solving it by myself. So all these readings are validated. So let's say if I have to find out the first density, you see I'm finding it out here. I have added another formula which is not pertaining to you. It's a bit a complex formula, but just to write the just instead of writing this unit, I have taken it from the table. But in your exercise, you could write it by yourself: kg over 1 plus meter cube. So here you see that this density of water, I need density of water, I need gravitational acceleration, I need specific gravity. The mass is given to be 2.29 2290 gram. I have taken it to be 2.29 kg, converted it. Then volume is given to be 1.15 into 10 raised to power minus 3. You could write it in the scientific format, or you could also convert it like I have converted it into meter cube. Then kg, this dried weight. Now let's say if you have to find out the bulk density, here I have written the bulk density. Here I have written the formula. Bulk density formula is mass over volume. So mass is written on which cell? It is written on E20. So I have to apply the formula E20, and volume is written in the cell which is E22. So when I have to find out the density in this cell, let's say if I want to get the value density in this cell, I have written it to be E20 by E22. So mass over volume. So here when I have put the formula, here you have the value. Now when I change the cell reference, let's say I change the value to be 3. Now you see that the formula, this is computing value accordingly. So now I change it to, let's say 50, it would make the calculation accordingly. So this is one benefit of Excel, that instead of taking it to be a constant value, it is taking it to be with self reference, so that later on you could change the data and you could do the analysis. Now you have to find out the unit weight. For unit weight, we know that it is m into g. First you have to find out the weight. For weight, you need to multiply mass into volume. Mass is 2.9, volume is 9.8. So I have written it like E20 multiplied by 9.8 divided. Here you could see different colors are also given, so you could write it. Because g is a constant, you could also write it like in a cell reference, or you could also write it like 9.81. It depends on you. Then water content, we know that weight of formula of water content is saturated weight minus dry weight over the dry weight. This is the equation for the water content. So here I have the dry weight, here I have the saturated weight. So I have applied a formula accordingly. So saturated weight, which is saturated weight is this one, 2.29 minus dry weight or mass of solid, which is written to be ms or dry mass, minus E24, which is written here, divided by E24. So I get the moisture content. For void ratio, I have this formula: GS multiplied by 1 plus moisture content multiplied by, here you see now you could get the idea of bracket. So now here you see that this one I have written in the bracket. This one is in the bracket. Why it is in the bracket? Which means that first it should add this moisture content, 1 plus moisture content, then multiplied with the GS. Then because we are coming from left to right, then it would multiply this value with PW, and then it would divide it with the density. So accordingly, I have written formula here. You see that first I add the 1 plus moisture content. Moisture content was here on this cell, which I have already determined this value. Now you see that here I have written the formula, but now I'm recalling it to be a value. When you write it to be E34, it would, instead of, also you could say that it is taking it as a formula, and also it is taking the value. It is taking the value 1 plus moisture content multiplied by specific gravity, which I have defined in this cell. So multiplied by specific gravity multiplied by this bulk density divided by density of the water, which is written here, or you could take it to be a constant, divided by 9.8, and when you enter it, it would give you the value. So let's say instead of this, if you just go like that, if you just give it a wrong order, you see that value has changed. So now it means that first it is multiplying all these factors, then it multiplying it with this, and then it is dividing it with this value, and then minusing then we also have -1 in the formula. Here you see that we have the -1 in the formula, which is outside these brackets. This is the main bracket. First it would solve this value, where we have given it a main bracket. First it would solve this. Initially it would start with first inner bracket, like 1 plus moisture, and then solve the outer bracket, and then it would -1. So let's say if you have changed, if you haven't taken the right order, the values could be different. So you should be aware of this, that your formula should be in the right order, precedence. Or now you see that the values are different than the previous one. So this is very important, that when you apply a formula, you should know the order uh, order of that operator, and how to change the order of that operator. You should also know that how could I apply the brackets. Now if you are coming with here, now because I want first to do the addition, so I have written this in the bracket. Here you see that I have written in the bracket. So I want that first it add 1 plus e, and then divide e over 1 plus e. So I have, let's say if I change it, like if I remove these brackets, and you change, see the values would be different. And when I write it like that, the values would be different. So you should be well aware of this thing by writing a formula. Similarly, I have solved this degree of saturation, which has WGS over E. GS simple formula is that. So from here we could find out the SE. We have already determined the moisture content here. We have the GS value. We have determined the void ratio in this cell. So you could recall all these cell according to this formula. Now here, obviously you want multiplication first and then division. Even if you don't apply here, you see, even if you don't apply these brackets, even then, because by default this is coming in right precedence, so the value would be the same. So now even if you apply, because it is operating it from left to right, so first multiply then division. So for this one, you, even if you don't apply these brackets, even then your formula would be all right. Then for area, here you see first I want 1 minus SR, which is this, SR is this. So I have placed a bracket here, 1 minus SR, then minus this one. So let's say if I remove this bracket, you see the values would be different. So in Excel, this is very important that you should know that how I should place the formula. And you, in placing a formula, you just need to know the order of operator by which it is being solved in a mathematical expression, sorry, and in a mathematical operation, how could you change the operator order. That's all. This is the lab exercise that you need to do. Now you have 2 exercises that you have to do this week, and you have to submit the next week. First is the getting familiar with Excel, the first exercise that I have given you. Second is the to getting familiar with the formula. I have given you the Excel spreadsheet program, as it provide this. I have already discussed. The second sheet that you have to do is the in second you have I have given the summary of all what I have talked about. Like if I give you the summary, then in this we have discussed the overview. In today's lecture we have discussed the overview of Excel, that what you see on Excel screen, what option you get, and what is the cell reference, how you could write, how could you enter a data, what is the data format, what is the data type, what is the data format, how to change the width and cell, how to cut and copy, cut, paste and copy the data from one cell to another, then how to navigate within the books, how to add different spreadsheet within a workbook. Then we discussed that how to format a book, how to format a data in a book. Then we discussed different formulas, that how could we apply the formulas, what are different functions that are available, what is the precedence order of an operator, and how could we apply the formula, all that. So you need to do the first exercise that I have given you, and you also need to, then you would add the second sheet, that you would just make the one workbook, in one workbook and one worksheet one. You would name it to be assignment one or lab assignment one, and you would prepare that table that I have given you in the slide number 28. Then in the week, for the week two, you solve the problem that I have given on the week two. I will give you all these formulas. With this one, I would also give you all these formulas. So you have to prepare this. Uh, you have to solve this problem on a second sheet and name it to be a lab assignment 2. And then after finishing, you just save it and save it to your USB or wherever, because in the next assignment you would do on the sheet 3 and then on the sheet 4 and so on. So these are the assignment that you have to do. That's all from this module. So I hope that you would practice this up, and you would do solve this lab problem. And in the next week, when you come to the university, obviously we would have the physical classes. So in the physical classes, uh, uh, we would go with the second module, and our strategy would be the same, that first we would discuss that in class in theory part. We would discuss all the detail in the theory part, and then I would give you an assignment related to that theory part, and then you have to do that in your lab part. And in your lab part, first I would give you the time to do all to do that exercise, and then I would evaluate you at the end of each class and give you the marks, which would be the part of your final evaluation. So that's all from these two lectures. If you have any questions, you could ask. Today's lecture was very simple. I hope that most of you already know all these things, but just to get ourselves familiar with all these, we needed that. So if you have any question, you could ask.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, as you told earlier that there is a function in Excel to auto predict the text or whatever in column. So
Yeah.
is there any function or relaxation for rows to auto predict? Means ke hum
No, I said that this autocomplete function, like this autocomplete function, because we are using the default options. One way is that you do the, like I said, that you do the coding and you change all these default options. You could do that as well. Like you could prepare a VBA and you could change this. But by default, what we see that in Excel, in default coding, it has given that the autocomplete option only comes in a column and in a continuous linked column. Like in that, when I wrote Pakistan, when I write the Pakistan here P, so it would give me the autocomplete option. But when I write it in the row, it won't give me that option because I'm using the default option of the Excel. If you want to change it, obviously you need to prepare a VBA for that, because we are not in advanced module to prepare VBA at this stage. So I cannot tell you that how to do that, but we could change the coding and we could make it accordingly, that we could do the autocomplete in the row as well. But by default, if you are using, you should know that in a default, it would only give you the autocomplete option in a column, in a continuous column and in a linked column. Let's say even if you just miss one row, even here if I write P, it won't give me that option. Or even if I press Alt plus the downward key, it won't give me any list. But on this one, on this cell, which is just next within the column, which is next to the entries that I have given, if I press the Alt plus Enter, it is giving me the list that is above I have already used. And just I give you one sheet. If you are using the default and you have not used the VBA to make it continuous, just make a dummy link. And when you make a dummy link, you could paste it this side, or you could also paste the values this side. When you place it here, let's say if I write Pakistan, so it would give me the Pakistan here. Even here it won't give me the value, so it would just give me the autocomplete within that column and within the linked cell. So you should make them linked, and then it would give you the autocomplete option. But if you want to change that, if you want this in the row, if you want it at any column, then obviously you need to change the coding. You need to change the coding of that cell. You need to prepare a VBA like here. We need to do the coding, and then accordingly we could get this autocomplete option, autocorrect option, or autocomplete option, I should say, in rows as well. But we are not in the advanced module. We haven't discussed the VBA yet. As we haven't discussed the VBA, so I cannot tell you that how could we get this autocomplete option in a row.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Got it.
Any other question? So that's all. See you next week. Please do these 2 assignments because they are they are necessary for your evaluation, compulsory for your evaluation, I must say. So you should do all these 2 assignments and bring them when you come into the lab class, so that I could evaluate. And in next week when you come, first we would conduct the theory class. Whatever we would learn in the theory class, we would replicate them in the lab class, and I would give you exercise, and you would complete that exercise in the lab, and then I would evaluate you at the end. That's all. Thank you very much for your patience. See you next week, inshallah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, recording रोक दें.